Hello students, till today we discussed various points in respiration and circulation, and in those points first we learn about the various features which are required in the respiratory organ for the efficient exchange of the gases. Second, we learn various respiratory organ in different animals and in plant. After that we learn respiratory system of human being. After completing the respiratory system of human being, next we learn mechanism of respiration. So in mechanism of respiration there are 4 points. So first is breathing, that we have completed. After breathing we also learn volumes in respiratory exchange. So various volume in expiratory exchange, that in that we learn tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume. Next we learn inspiratory capacity, expiratory capacity, functional residual volume, lung capacity, total lung capacity. So these various volume we learn in that point. We also discuss these points from NCERT as well as state board. So you can read NCERT and can clear these points. So today we are going to start next point, exchange of gases at alveolar level. So student, remember that we are discussing mechanism of respiration, and mechanism of respiration contain mainly 4 points. So out of which first breathing we have completed. Now today we are going to discuss second point, that is exchange of gases at alveolar level, or it is also called as external respiration. It is also called as external respiration. So see, today we are going to start this point. So in this point, first we are going to learn how gases are exchanged in between alveoli and blood. So first is alveoli. So in alveoli, you know alveoli, in human being respiratory system there is trachea, next is bronchi. After bronchi, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, bronchioles, and at the end of bronchioles there are balloon-like sacs, and these sacs are called as alveoli. So whatever gases we inhale, those gases come inside this alveoli. Now exchange of gases take place through this alveoli. So see what is the structure of alveoli, because exchange of gases are going to take place through this alveoli. See, in alveoli, in its lining there is single layer of squamous epithelium. Now all of you know what is meant by squamous epithelium. We have learned various types of epithelial tissue, and in that squamous epithelium is thinnest epithelium, and its main role in the transport of various things. So see, in the lining of alveoli, this layer is nothing but the squamous epithelium. This is squamous epithelium. Now we know that in the epithelium there is characteristic feature of epithelium is that below the tissue or below the cell there is single layer, and that layer is called as basement membrane, and that membrane is non-cellular. This membrane is non-cellular, and it is characteristic feature of epithelial tissue. Remember this thing. I am going to repeat once again. You have learned epithelial tissue, and in epithelial tissue there is one characteristic feature of epithelial tissue is that at the base of each epithelial tissue, below the layer of the cell, there is one more layer which is non-cellular, and this non-cellular layer, see, this non-cellular layer and this layer is called as basement membrane. So in the alveoli there is single layer of squamous epithelium. Below this squamous epithelium or epithelial tissue, epithelial cell, there is basement membrane. So this is about alveoli. Now all of you know that around the alveoli there is network of blood capillaries, because whatever gases come inside the alveoli, they are going to diffuse inside the blood. So blood capillaries are present around the alveoli. See, this is blood capillary which is present around the alveoli. Now blood coming towards the lung, or blood coming inside the lung, it is deoxygenated blood. Okay, so blood which is coming to the alveoli, it is deoxygenated. Now when this deoxygenated blood enters here, in that blood there is very low oxygen, or level of oxygen is decreased. Therefore oxygen whatever in the alveoli is going to diffuse in this blood. So for diffusion, first we learn that squamous epithelium, but after squamous epithelium, we should know what is about capillary, this blood capillary. Now, in the lining of blood capillary, once again there is single layer of squamous epithelium. So all of you know that location of squamous epithelium, various location of squamous epithelium we learn in tissue, that topic. So here also there is squamous epithelium, and in this case also below the squamous epithelium there is basement membrane. So this basement membrane is of this squamous epithelium of blood capillaries. Now these together, two squamous epithelium of the alveoli and endothelium. Endothelium, this word is used in NCERT, and endothelium, it is nothing but the epithelium of internal organ. See, the squamous epithelium of blood capillary and squamous epithelium of the alveoli and basement membrane of alveoli and basement membrane of the capillary together form respiratory membrane. So remember this word, respiratory membrane. See once again, which membrane form respiratory membrane? Squamous epithelium of the alveoli, squamous epithelium of the blood capillary, and basement membrane present below the squamous epithelium. These three membranes together form respiratory membrane. Now in NCERT they have given thickness of these three. Which three? Squamous epithelium of alveoli, basement membrane, and squamous epithelium of blood capillary. These three, thickness of these three membrane is less than a millimeter. See, you know 1 millimeter. So its thickness is less than 1 millimeter. So this is respiratory membrane through which gases are going to diffuse from capillary to alveoli and from alveoli to capillary. Now one more thing, for diffusion, all of you know diffusion, there are various transport mechanisms: active transport, passive transport, diffusion, facilitated transport. And remember this thing, gases are going to transport with the help of this mechanism, that is diffusion. You have to remember this word diffusion. Now diffusion took place from higher partial pressure, this PP is for partial pressure, higher partial pressure of gases towards the lower partial pressure. So all of you know at each and every place, for example, if you create gradient of the water, means at one side there is high level of the water and on other side there is low level of the water, and that water is separated by the permeable membrane. In that case, water flows from higher to lower. In the same way, gases are going to diffuse from where to where? From alveoli to blood capillary, and from blood capillary they are going to diffuse in the alveoli. But which gases? Oxygen diffuse from alveoli to blood capillary, and carbon dioxide diffuse from capillary to alveoli. So how it is decided which gas is going to diffuse from alveoli to capillary and capillary to alveoli? So remember one more thing is that this gas, means whatever atmospheric air we have inhaled, it do not contain only oxygen. Along with oxygen, it also contain other gases. In the same way, blood which is present in the capillary, it is not completely deoxygenated. Small amount of oxygen is present there. So it is necessary that oxygen should diffuse from alveoli to blood and CO2 should diffuse from blood to alveoli. So how it happened that CO2 goes from this to this way and O2 come from this to this way? So this happened due to partial pressure. So higher partial pressure of oxygen is present inside the alveoli. Due to that, gases flow from higher to lower. If oxygen, its higher pressure is in alveoli and low pressure in the blood capillary, then oxygen is going to diffuse from alveoli to the blood. In the same way, CO2 have high partial pressure inside the blood capillary and low partial pressure inside the alveoli. Due to this, CO2 diffuse from blood capillary to the alveoli. So remember this thing, we learn what is respiratory membrane. After that, we learn gases are going to exchange with the help of diffusion, and diffusion always took place from level or from the area, from higher partial pressure to the area of lower partial pressure of that particular gas. So at this point, first of all, see this partial pressure of CO2 and partial pressure of O2. See, suppose this blood is coming towards the alveoli and this blood is deoxygenated. Whatever deoxygenated blood is there, in this blood, partial pressure of CO2 is 45 mm of Hg. See, partial pressure of CO2 is 45 and O2 is 40. So whatever blood coming in this capillary, deoxygenated blood, it contain high partial pressure of CO2 and low partial pressure of the O2. Now they have given partial pressure of O2 and CO2 in the alveoli. It is given from the alveoli. So inside the alveoli, partial pressure of O2 is 104 and partial pressure of CO2 is 40. Now tell me, where is higher partial pressure of oxygen? Compare partial pressure of oxygen in the alveoli and partial pressure of O2 in the deoxygenated blood. Where is higher partial pressure of the O2? So higher partial pressure of O2 is in the alveoli and low in the blood. Therefore, oxygen is going to diffuse from alveoli to the deoxygenated blood. In the same way, carbon dioxide. In the deoxygenated blood, partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 45 mm of Hg and in the alveoli, partial pressure of CO2 is 40 mm of Hg. Now, at which area, at which place there is higher partial pressure of CO2? So it is higher in the deoxygenated blood and low inside the alveoli. So CO2 is going to diffuse from this deoxygenated blood to the alveoli. So in this way, exchange of gases took place by this diffusion. So we learned exchange of gases at alveolar level. At this alveolar level, it is also called as external respiration. So student, first of all, you have to remember the respiratory membrane which is formed, and through that respiratory membrane, gases are going to diffuse. So what is respiratory membrane? Membrane of alveoli and membrane of blood capillary together form respiratory membrane. Now membrane of alveoli, it is made up of single layer of squamous epithelium and below the squamous epithelium there is basement membrane, and in case of the blood capillaries also there is squamous epithelium and below the squamous epithelium there is basement membrane. So together all these membrane form respiratory membrane. Now second point, diffusion of gases. Gases are exchanged by this method, diffusion. Now gases diffuses from higher partial pressure to the lower partial pressure. For example, oxygen diffuses from its higher partial pressure to area where it is in lower partial pressure. For example, in alveoli, partial pressure of oxygen is 104 mm of Hg and in deoxygenated blood, partial pressure of oxygen is 40 mm of Hg. So oxygen diffuse from alveoli to blood. On the opposite side, if you check partial pressure of CO2, partial pressure of CO2 is high in deoxygenated blood, that is 45, and in alveoli it is 40. So CO2 is going to diffuse from blood to alveoli. So in this way, respiratory exchange take place. Now this point is given in the NCERT. It is extra, it is given in the NCERT. So they have given that various factors are responsible for diffusion of gases. So they are given three factors. First is solubility of gases. So the solubility is not given in the state board. Second one is thickness of membrane and third one is partial pressure. So we discussed partial pressure. Next we also discussed thickness of membrane. Now there is remaining only one point is solubility. So this point is given from the NCERT. I am going to repeat again, it is from NCERT. So solubility of gases means the concentration at which that gases dissolve in the liquid. For example, CO2 have 20 to 25%. CO2 have 20 to 25% more solubility than O2. So which is a more soluble gas, that is CO2. So as compared to oxygen, more CO2 diffuses in the alveoli. So in this way solubility affect on the diffusion of gases. Second factor which affect is the thickness. So thickness of the membrane. Which membrane? Respiratory membrane. Respiratory membrane is formed from squamous epithelium of alveoli, squamous epithelium of blood capillary, and basement membrane in between them. So these three membranes together form respiratory membrane, and its thickness is less than 1 millimeter. So it is very thin and gases are going to diffuse through it easily. And third factor responsible is the partial pressure. Gases diffuses from higher partial pressure to the lower partial pressure. So this is about the exchange of gases at alveolar level. So here one chart is written. So see, this chart is given from the NCERT. It is not given in the state board, but you have to remember all these values. So I think you must have understand this point, exchange of gases. Now you have to understand all these values because it is going to asked in the NEET exam, or these values are important. So next point about this chart, partial pressure of oxygen and CO2 at various places. See next. Air, alveoli, blood, deoxygenated blood, oxygenated, and tissue. So these various places they have given. So how this took place? See, suppose this is alveoli. Around the alveoli, suppose this is blood capillary. Whatever blood coming towards alveoli, it is deoxygenated, and blood exiting from the alveoli, it is oxygenated. Okay, so this blood is deoxygenated. Now, when this capillary or blood is supplied to the tissue, oxygenated blood is supplied. So in this way, now whatever atmosphere, suppose this is atmospheric air which is going to come inside this alveoli. Now, you have to remember all these partial pressure. See, partial pressure of O2 in the air. Start from the air. So in air, partial pressure of O2, here is air or atmosphere, and partial pressure of O2 is 159, and partial pressure of CO2 is 0.3 mm of Hg. Its unit is mmHg. See, we learn partial pressure of O2 and partial pressure of CO2 in the air. So in air, partial pressure of O2 is 159 mm of Hg, and partial pressure of CO2 is 0.3 mm of Hg. Now blood which is coming towards the alveoli, that blood is deoxygenated. So in the deoxygenated blood, they have given blood deoxygenated. Partial pressure of O2, partial pressure of O2 is 40, and partial pressure of CO2 is 45 mm of Hg. Now, when this blood comes towards this in the alveoli, now alveoli contain partial pressure of O2 104 and partial pressure of CO2 is 40. Okay. Whatever blood in the vicinity of the alveoli, it become oxygenated. Now this oxygenated blood, when exit from the alveoli, that oxygenated blood contain partial pressure of O2 95 and partial pressure of CO2 is 40. Now inside the tissue, in tissue, partial pressure of O2 is 40 and partial pressure of CO2 is 45. So once again I am going to repeat this. So see, in the atmosphere, air contain oxygen and CO2. So partial pressure of O2 is 159 and partial pressure of CO2 is 0.3 mm of Hg. Now compare it with this alveoli. Alveoli contain air which contain partial pressure of O2 104 and partial pressure of CO2 is 40. Now you can compare this atmosphere and alveolar air. So where is higher partial pressure of O2? In the atmosphere 159 and lower in the alveoli. So oxygen is going to diffuse from air to the alveoli, and now inside the alveoli CO2 is 40 and in the atmosphere it is 0.3. So CO2 is going to diffuse from alveoli into the atmosphere. Now in case of the deoxygenated blood, it has partial pressure of O2 is 40 and CO2 is 45 and alveoli 104 of oxygen and 40 is of CO2. So higher concentration of oxygen is in the alveoli and lower concentration of oxygen is in the deoxygenated blood. So oxygen diffuses from alveoli to the deoxygenated blood and CO2 diffuses from deoxygenated blood into the alveoli. Now when oxygen diffuses into this blood, the same blood, whatever blood coming towards the alveoli, it was deoxygenated, but whatever blood returning towards the body part, that blood become oxygenated. Now this oxygenated blood contain partial pressure of O2 95 and partial pressure of CO2 is 40. So you can compare, the oxygenated blood was containing only 40 partial pressure of O2. Now this oxygenated contain 95. It means oxygen is dissolved in this blood. Now this oxygenated blood when comes in contact with the tissue, inside the tissue partial pressure of O2 is 40 and partial pressure of CO2 is 45. So oxygenated blood contain higher oxygen concentration and tissue contain lower oxygen concentration. So oxygen diffuses from oxygenated blood into the tissue and CO2 diffuses from tissue into the oxygenated blood. So same blood become deoxygenated. Once again it comes towards the alveoli. So oxygen from oxygenated blood diffuses into the tissue and from CO2 from the tissue diffuses into the oxygenated blood and same blood become deoxygenated and comes towards the alveoli. Now you have to remember concentration of this oxygen and CO2 at various places. So first I am going to tell you about the partial pressure of O2 at various places. So remember in that sequence only. So in atmosphere partial pressure of O2 is 159 mm of Hg. In alveoli it is 104. In deoxygenated blood it is 40. Now in oxygenated blood it become 95 and in tissue once again it is 40. See, atmosphere highest. How much it is? It is 159. In the alveoli 104. In deoxygenated blood it is 40. In oxygenated blood 95 and once again in the tissue it is 40. So repeat, in atmosphere 159, in alveoli 104, in deoxygenated blood it is 40, in oxygenated blood 95 and inside the tissue partial pressure of O2 is 40 mm of Hg. So this was about the O2. Now partial pressure of